He's Just Sleeping by Stephanie James Publishing. Read by Andrea Dean Van Scoy of Red Horse Promotions. A little boy, only 3 years old, lay with his eyes closed tight. He appeared to be sleeping so deeply that not even a heartbeat was detectable. Large 16-foot concrete walls lined the freeway, offering a poor sound barrier to a row of not-too-distant townhouses, putting the young 3-year-old outside of view from the barrage of constant traffic. His small body, just on the other side, taken to a point that could no longer withstand the cruelty of the world, lay in the corner of the dirt floor and the concrete wall, only 15 feet away from hundreds of people driving by every minute. Different sounds entertained the small toddler as he patiently waited. Honking horns, engine brakes of semis, and the obnoxiously loud exhaust of several bullet bikes and Harleys. A few times a year, he would hear the loud crushing of metal as a race car driver in training turned the corner too fast, slamming into the body of another. Twisted metal, shattering glass, and rubber tires abrasively dragged across the asphalt like a brick of cheese, ice skating across a grater. Even the brakes tried, but inevitably locked and were unable to share any more aid. Sometimes he didn't hear the crashing of two cars, just the squealing tires before the cars slid off the road into the median, rolling multiple times before coming to a stop. The young boy enjoyed hearing the fire engines, the loud sirens, and the police cars that competed with the obnoxiousness of the bullet bikes. He could hear the chains of the tow truck dragging the disabled vehicle, slowly and noisily pulling it up the metal bed of the truck, before, just like all the others, it was taken to a horrifying demise. His stomach ached as he thought about their gruesome end, but he was also jealous. Many people at least knew of its existence as they rushed to aid the broken car. Ambulances rushed quickly, EMTs grabbing damaged bodies, lying them on gurneys, and transporting them to hospitals. Even the ones that didn't survive were taken by caring individuals. Their loved ones saying goodbye at a funeral as they lie in a warm coffin, lined with soft velvet, the back of their head resting on a pillow of satin. Prayers, hymns, and piano notes lingered. Sniffles snuck throughout the assembly by those who let their family member know they were cared about and would be missed. The young boy noted the onslaught of numerous flies trying their best to entertain him, their wings causing vibrant sounds as their quick movements danced, frolicking along his long runway of rotting flesh. After he found himself lying, pushed in the corner of the solid ground and the concrete wall, he noticed he could hear better than he had ever before. Not just the cars and crashing metal, not the horns and fire engines, but further, much further. His favorite was listening to birthday parties, children laughing as the clicking of cameras littered the background as smiling parents reveled in their children's happiness. He could visualize their smiles as the intense flavors of vanilla Oreo ice cream and watermelon sherbet played havoc on their innocent taste buds. The sounds of candy falling from broken piñatas rode upon tufts of passive wind and carried to his inner ear. The outer helix had deteriorated and was no longer able to assist as an organic funnel. Parents quickly try to grab the stick before the excited child accidentally hits others as they lunge for the wrapped sugar that fumbles to the ground. The air grew colder, the seasons were changing, and heavier winds inundated the nights. Thousands of raindrops played tic-tac-toe across his dormant body, saturating his clothes and draining down into the ground as he became one with the dirt. He enjoyed the sensation of individual snowflakes landing on his cheeks and eyelids, but only for a little while. Soon the accumulated weight pressed down, suffocating him. His claustrophobia, which had initiated a few weeks earlier, became more intense as he sat in the cocoon of snow and ice. He would hear the snowplows, their large metal shovels wearing thin as they dug their way across the textured asphalt. Small fragments of steel shooting out like sparklers in the hands of excited children celebrating their numerous holidays. Large waves of snow, sleet, and ice flew over the wall like a massive condor multiple times throughout the long night. Tires squished through the thick mess at minimal speeds. Wipers whined across frosted windshields as petrified drivers did their best at making it to their destination without the help of painted lines. It took a while, but eventually he felt the warmth of spring. He heard a meadow in the foothills, buzzing with endless honeybees as they hopscotched from one flower to the next. The reverberations of thousands of fragile wings drove the busy creatures in all directions. A small pond, created by the overflow of a nearby lake, cradled 27 geese that spread their wings. They stretched nearly simultaneously with each other to bask in the morning sun that had recently climbed the highest peak of the farthest mountain. They lightly shook the winter residual from their large feathers. Months later, in deep summer, a 46-year-old woman went on her second date with a handsome individual. I smiled when I could literally hear her heart fluttering like a teenager when he kissed her. After the door closed, and he reversed from her driveway, I heard the mother's phone ring, and I mused while listening to her adult daughter excitedly interrogate her. The junior high giggling persisted into the night like two girls with matching friendship bracelets. A widow. An elderly man not more than 50 feet from the front door of his house. He lightly sways on an aged porch swing, his deceased wife's favorite mug warming his hands that gently cradled the pink ceramic, decorated with flowers and butterflies. A light steam emitting from the beverage's surface, dissipating into the air just above the mug's rim. The small flower bed beside him, his wife's pride and joy, never had a single weed. Now, goat heads and bindweed hid the bed and its stone border, so you wouldn't know it ever existed to begin with. He spent years keeping it pristine, knowing just how she wanted it. It tore his heart apart when his arthritis laid claim to his leathered fingers, and he watched daily as the weeds and time won their long-sought battle. His heart, though torn, still beat, though slower than before, no longer having anything to prove. Nice, methodical pumping, repetitive and calm as he made peace with his remaining days. As he looked out, watching the sun celebrate another completed day with a gorgeous display of pastelic paint, he enjoyed the warm breeze, his eyes closed, waiting like the sunset for his time to pass and to celebrate the completion of a very, very long day. A loud screaming drenched the horizon as a child learned the consequences of spraying the backyard hose into a wasp nest that clung to the interior wall of a clothesline pole. After the mother dotted the sting, I heard the two sides of paper separate as the mother pulled the adhesive Band-Aid from its sanitary sheath. An unnecessary act, but it reassured the child that it would be okay. I could empathize. I too missed my mother unnecessarily wasting a Band-Aid, covering a non-bleeding ache, using it as a placebo sticker to momentarily calm my panic and dissipate the minor pain. I remember her letting me turn the green measuring cup over the mixing bowl, watching the 1 cup of brown sugar break apart against the bottom. I patiently waited, suspense building as she handed me a spoonful of vanilla. I watched it disappear, darkening the sugar more, so I didn't smile this time, as I listened to a mother tell her son to do the same. I visualized the voices as she explained a similar scenario. I usually enjoyed listening, but not this time. I ached to cry, but that was no longer a luxury I possessed, unlike so many other similarly aged children. Years passed, and again, winter reached into my thoughts. Cold crept into the perimeter of my decaying corpse. I knew it would be another long season. But this time, I didn't feel the cold. Instead, a warmth and a calm. I felt peace, like the 27 geese that had basked in the sun. I felt warm hands lift me from the filth of the world. The inches of dirt and dead plants fell from me like water from oil. "You were patient," the deep voice said in reverence. "Thank you." Tears came to my eyes, the warmth trickling down my cheeks. "That took a long time," I confessed. "I know. That was very difficult to watch. You did well." Even though my ails subsided with his warmth, selfishly, I still was not content. "I want my mom." "Of course," he said. "She's been looking for you. She's been waiting for you for a very long time as well." He looked down as his arms lifted me higher. "She's waiting for you now. She's very excited to see you again." I didn't notice the busy sounds of the earth vanquish, subsiding into worldly distractions. Only the voice that called my name in the distance. The voice that reached around me as I neared and held me tight. Arms that would never again let go. You can find more books by Stephanie James Publishing, including a never-ending Choose Your Own Adventure series involving dozens of talented authors at the website stephaniejamespublishing.com. They are looking for more writing enthusiasts to participate in their ongoing series with endless paths and alternative endings. You can reach out to Stephanie by messaging her on Instagram on her profile, Stephanie James Publishing, or emailing her at stephaniejamespublishing@gmail.com. Also, subscribe to this YouTube channel for more stories, and don't forget to like and comment as well. Again, this was made possible by Andrea at Red Horse Promotions. As always, thank you for your interest.